In this video, we are going to discuss about the inverse Fourier transform. Okay. So till now we were discussing about like basic problems for Fourier transform and the problems based on properties. Now you will be getting the Fourier transform coefficient. From the Fourier transform coefficient, how to find out the time domain signal x of n. That's what we are going to see. Okay. So take the first question. It is x of e power j omega. It is equal to cos square omega. That's what is given in the question. So first write your this thing analysis equation, that is x of n is equal to 1. This is synthesis equation. Okay, sorry. That's 1 by 2 integral minus pi to pi x of e power j omega and d omega. Okay, this is what the time domain signal x of an equation. Now let us substitute the value of x of e power j omega. X of e power j omega is cos square omega. So I am just substituting that. This equation will become cos square omega. So cos square theta is cos theta the whole square. So I can write this thing as in 1 by 2 pi integral minus pi to pi e power j omega plus e power minus j omega by 2 the whole square, then e power j omega n d omega. So instead of this cos square omega, I substituted this one. Okay. Now you can see that it is like you have 1, 2, this all square is there, so that 4 will come. So you can take that 4 outside, then here you will get 1 by 8 pi integral. Actually, I can divide or I can split this thing into 2 integrals. One integral is from minus pi to plus pi e power. I can take that j omega. If I'm taking it outside, I'll get it as 1 plus n j omega d omega plus integral minus pi to plus pi e power. If I'm taking this thing, I'll be getting it as here square is there, so here it will be e power. First we expand it and write e power 2 j omega plus e power minus j 2 omega plus 2, because like now you can see that if I'm taking this 2 outside, I am getting in terms of a plus b the whole square. A plus b the whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. That is a square means e power j omega the square, that is e power 2j omega plus b square, that is e power minus 2j omega plus 2ab, 2 multiplied by a into b, then this thing will become e power 0, that is plus 2, then multiplied by e power j omega and d omega. So you just see this 2, I just take it outside, so this thing will become 8 pi, then it is in the form of this is a and this is b. A plus b the whole square, expanded it, a square, this is a square, this is b square, and this is this 2ab. Okay, so I just wrote it like this. So you can see that you have to expand this thing by using like 3 integral. That is, one integral will be, I'm just taking this 1 by 8 pi full outside. Then one integral will be minus pi to plus pi, this term. That is e power 2 j 2 omega e power j omega n d omega plus integral minus pi to plus pi. Then this term will come e power minus j 2 omega multiplied by e power j2 omega d omega plus third integral will be integral minus pi to plus pi to e power j omega and d omega. Like that, you will be having three integrals. Okay, so let me expand it and write. So now you see, as I said, like you are going to split the given whatever we got that integrals into three integrals. One integral is like this. Just see that 1 by 8 pi I took it outside. Okay, so 1 by 8 pi I took it outside, and the remaining you can see first integral is from minus pi to plus pi, then e power j 2 omega multiplied by e power j omega and d omega. That is a square I am multiplying with e power j omega plus another term is b square. B square is e power minus j2 omega, that I am multiplying with e power j omega and d omega plus that 2ab, that is 2ab I am getting only 2. Okay, integral minus pi to pi to e power j omega and d omega. So like that I am getting three integrals. Now this one I can write it as, I can take this j omega outside, so I can write it as e power j omega inside the bracket n plus 2 will come. In the second term I will get n minus 2. In the third term this 2 I will take outside and write. Then these three integrals integrated separately and apply the limits. Okay, so after applying the limit, you can see that actually you will be getting it as upper limit minus lower limit, that is e power j omega n plus 2. Okay, e power j here you have to substitute, instead of omega you have to substitute pi. So e power j pi n plus 2 minus e power minus j pi n plus 2 divide like that, upper limit minus lower limit, like that you will be getting, that is e power j theta minus e power minus j theta, that is I can write in terms of sign. That is why after integration and after substituting the limits I am getting in terms of sign. Okay, so all the three terms I'm getting in terms of sign. Actually now, like what I'm going to do, a simple modification is, instead of writing in terms of sign, I'm going to write it in terms of sinc function, that is sine theta by theta. I'm going to write. Here you just see, first term you see, what is the theta value? Sine pi n plus 2. Okay, so theta is pi n plus 2. So if I want to represent it as sine theta by theta, in the denominator also, I need one pi. So if I am adding a pi in the denominator, it should be get cancelled in the numerator. Similarly, second term. In the second term, theta value is pi n minus 2, but denominator I have only in minus 2. So please add one pi and cancel one pi. So you can see that second term also now in terms of sine theta by theta. In the third term, theta value is pi n. So denominator I am multiplying with pi. Sorry, denominator I am just writing one pi, and numerator also I am just writing one pi, just cancelling. So here third terms also I represented in terms of sine theta by theta. Sine theta by theta is sinc function. Okay. Now, if I am substituting, you take the third term along. Okay, that is 4 pi sine pi n by pi n. Only take that sine pi n by pi n. If I am substituting n is equal to 0, I will be getting it as sine 0 by 0, 0 by 0. You know that if you have a term as 0 by 0, we have to solve it by using L'Hospital's rule. So by using L'Hospital's rule, I can tell that 0 by 0, that is sine pi n by pi n, is I have a value 1 only at n equal to 0. For all the remaining values of 0, that sine pi n by pi n is 0. This is what you studied in the L'Hospital's rules in mathematics. So that I'm going to apply. So in the actually we started discussing from the third term. That is sine pi n by pi n. So sine pi n by pi n is having a value only at n equal to 0. Okay, its amplitude is 1. Similarly, just take the first term. That is sine pi n plus 2 by pi n plus 2. So in that case, I have a value only at n is equal to minus 2. That is amplitude will be 1. All other cases, my first term will be 0 based on L'Hospital's rule. Similarly, I can tell that the second term. What is the second term? Second term is sine pi n minus 2 by pi n minus 2. So if I am substituting n is equal to 2, then you can see that it will become 0 by 0 form. So based on the L'Hospital's rules, I can tell that given term, that is sine pi n minus 2 by pi n minus 2 is having a value only at n equal to 2. Okay, so this is how we are coming to the end of our problem. Okay, so up to here it will be easy for you to do. After that, you just think about that 0 by 0 form. That is like you are going to apply the L'Hospital's rule. So from that, we understood that the whatever we got the answer for this thing, we have values only at n equal to 0. N equal to 0 means the third term. Then at n equal to minus 2, that is the first term. Then at n equal to 2, that is the second term. So only at these values, I have an amplitude. Amplitude is 1. For all the remaining values, the given, whatever the solution we got, it will be 0. So from that L'Hospital's rules concept, I can tell that the first term of the previous answer we got, it will be like as I said, like I have an amplitude only at n is equal to minus 2. That is, I can write that n is equal to minus 2 as del of n plus 2. Okay, so you had it previously one 2 pi was there, that 2 pi only you wrote. Okay, 2 pi del of n plus 2 plus you second term is having an amplitude only at n is equal to 2, that is n equal to 2, that impulse function I can write it as del of n minus 2. So that 2 pi, that amplitude previous thing we had, so that 2 pi multiplied by del of n minus 2 plus 4 pi del of n. So this is what I am getting for x of n. Okay, so once again, I can just rearrange this equation. That is, if I am taking this 8 pi outside, this term will become 1 by 4 del of n plus 2. This term will become 1 by 4 del of n minus 2. This term will become 1 by 2 del of n. So this is what my time domain signal x of n I am getting. If you want to plot this one, I can plot it as at 0, minus 1, plus 1, minus 2, plus 2. At minus 2, my amplitude is 1 by 4. At minus 1, 0. At 0, amplitude is 1 by 2. Here 0. At plus 2, amplitude is 1 by 4. So this is what my x of n signal or time domain signal I am getting. Okay, so like this we can solve the inverse Fourier transform. So one problem we solved, we are going to do the next one. Now let us go to the second problem. Okay, so in second problem, there like what is the Fourier transform coefficient is given like this. Okay, it's in the form of like you can see that it's a square minus 2ab plus b square, like that, like some quadratic equation form you are getting. Okay, so like that you are getting means first like factorize it. Okay, just this equation now I can write it as e power j omega minus 2, then e power minus j omega minus 3. So you can see that like then multiply, if you are multiplying I'll get plus, and adding like I'll get minus. Okay, so first factorize it. So I'm getting an equation in this form after factorizing. So after factorization, what you have to do is, like by using partial fraction, actually we need to get two equations. Actually, you know that, like if you are getting an equation in this form, 1 by 1 minus e power j omega term. Like that, if you are getting it, easily we can write the inverse Fourier transform as alpha power n u of n form. Okay, so our aim is to get in terms of that some 1 by 1 minus some alpha e power minus j omega, like that, we are going to represent it. Okay, so for that purpose, what you have to do is, like you just by using partial fraction method, represent it as some a by this term plus b by this term. Okay, so by using partial fraction, I can write the above equation as, so that a value I'll be getting it as minus 6 by e power minus j omega minus 2 plus b value I'll get it as 6 divided by e power minus j omega minus 3. Okay, so after partial fraction, I'm getting it like this. Okay, so yeah, now also you can see that actually I need it like 1 by 1 minus alpha e power minus j omega. Now my given equation, or whatever the equation I got, it is not in the form of 1 by 1 minus alpha e power minus j omega. So in order to get it in that form, what I have to do? If I am taking this minus 2 outside from this, and minus 3 outside from the second term, I can get it as 1 by 1 minus alpha e power minus j omega. Okay, so if I'm taking minus 2 outside from this, I'll be getting it as here above numerator will be plus 3, because minus 6 minus 2, then it is plus 3 divided by, okay, divided by this term will become 1 minus 1 by 2 e power minus j omega. So you can see that, so the first term I got it as 1 by 1 minus alpha e power minus j omega. Similarly, I'm going to do for the second term. So as I said, what I'm going to take outside? I'm going to take minus 3 outside. So I'm getting 6 by minus 3. It is minus 2. So here it is minus, not plus. So minus 2 divided by, this thing will become 1 minus, here it will be 1 by 3 e power minus j omega. So both the first part and second part, now I represented in terms of 1 by 1 minus alpha e power minus j omega. So directly I can write the Fourier, inverse Fourier transform of this equation as, first I'll write it. Just see. Directly you can write for this as x of n is equal to 3. Let it be 3 like this. 3. Then what is the alpha value here? 1 by 2. Okay. So 1 by 2 power n u of n minus, here 2 is the, what's the value of alpha here? 1 by 3. 1 by 3 power n u of n. So this is the Fourier inverse Fourier transform of the given equation. So whatever you are getting, first factorize it by using partial fraction, represent it as a by something plus b by something, then represent as in the form of 1 by 1 minus alpha e power minus j omega. So that directly you can write my answer if you are getting your denominator as a quadratic equation. Okay, so let us move to the third problem now. So now we are going to the third problem. So the third problem is, like, what's the Fourier transform coefficient we got is 1 plus 2 cos omega plus 3 cos 2 omega. Okay, so first rearrange this equation. So we are getting in terms of cos. So just represent it as e power j theta plus e power minus j theta by 2. So I just wrote it like this. Then again expanded. So here I am getting 1 plus this thing will be e power j omega, e power minus j omega plus 3 by 2 e power 2 j omega. So, 2 j omega plus 3 by 2 e power minus 2 j omega. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. So if you are getting in this form, directly you can write my the same inverse Fourier transform or time domain signal as you can see that here my omega value is 0. That is, can I write it as this as del of n plus? Here in this case, it is like plus j omega. Plus j omega means you can write that this is at n plus 1. Okay, then I can see that I have minus j omega, that is it is del of n minus 1 plus 3 by 2 del of n plus 2 plus 3 by 2 del of n minus 2. So directly I can write my time domain signal like this rather than going for all those steps. If you are getting your equation in this format. So how I am writing that equation is like already you know that like what is your x of an equation. Okay. So based on that x of an equation, if I am combining these things, I'll be getting it as here like my k value is at minus 1, plus 1, minus 2, plus 2. So based on that k value, I'm writing all these things. Okay, so this actually here the k value is 0. So directly I'm telling that this is a impulse function. Here k value is plus 1. So that's why I'm telling that minus 1. That's why I'm telling that this is a like del of impulse function. It is like del of n plus 1. Here in minus 1, in plus 2 and in minus 2. So these kind of problems you can directly solve it based on this equation also. Thank you.